welcome back to my channel. So before I start with everything, I want to apologize that my face is really looking terrible right now. I've been struggling with my acne or breakouts for the past month now. I don't really know what's happening, but I've been really stressing out with my face. But I think that it's a perfect way for me to start doing my foundation makeup review. So I think it's a good way for you guys to see whether a foundation can actually cover up this kind of situation over here. So what I'll be doing for this video is I'm actually going to review this highly raved product, which I'm pretty sure you've heard about quite a few times now. And this is the Etude House Double Lasting Foundation. I've heard so many good things about this, and they say that it's a dupe for the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation, I think. When I heard that it's a dupe for that, I said, not really bad. I mean, for a Korean brand to be a dupe for a high-end foundation means that it's really great foundation. So I went ahead and purchased it. I know that, it took me a while to jump into the bandwagon, but it's never too late to try it out. So without further ado, I will go ahead and try this out. You guys see how thick the foundation is? But the thing is, it looks thick, but it doesn't feel heavy on my face actually. What I'll do now is I'll blend it out using the Skinfood Wedge Puff. It actually does have that fragrance and that smell. It's kind of florally, and it reminds me of a perfume or a cologne that I've used when I was still in high school. I can't remember what brand, but it does remind me of that. So the first layer looks pretty good at the moment. It almost covered pretty much the top layer of the blemishes, although I can still see them. But I think if I put another more layer, it will be able to cover that blemish, and I won't need to put any more concealer actually. So what I'll do is I'll build it up and put another layer to see whether it can cover that blemish. The second layer kind of did a pretty good job actually. If you look at it, it almost looks like not visible, although you can still see the bumps definitely and the redness, but I can tell that you can really see that it pretty much covered and performed really well in terms of covering all the imperfections. So if you look at it side by side, this is the side with the full foundation, and this side I haven't put the foundation yet, so you can actually see how well it really covered pretty much my blemishes. So with the use of the Skinfood Wedge Puff, it always is a good blending tool. I'm able to blend out that foundation pretty quick. I didn't really think that the puff actually absorbed the product, so it really blended very well. So what I'll do now is I'll put the foundation on the other side so that I can blend it with the Beauty Blender. This is the first layer of the foundation. As you can see, with Beauty Blender, the first layer tend to be lighter coverage, like in the sense that I'm not sure whether the Beauty Blender actually absorbs the product, but the first layer on this side while I was using the Wedge Puff kind of did quite well in covering up the blemishes, but on this side the first layer did pretty well, but I can still see the blemishes quite a bit, and I still have to cover it up. So I'll try to build it up and put another layer. So this is the coverage. Basically, as you can see, it did cover up pretty pretty well. A while ago, my face was really terrible. You can see all the blemishes and the uneven skin tone. But once I started putting that foundation, although at first you can see that the product looks very thick, but it's not heavy at all. So it's quite light, like, you know, just water on your face, but it's not too watery that it drips, so it's nothing like that, which is actually a pretty good thing. Even though you're using the same type of foundation for both sides, the fact that I'm using Beauty Blender kind of tones down that higher coverage look of that foundation. So as you can see on this side, I can see a little bit of dewiness in finish, although in reality, this foundation actually finishes as like a semi-matte. It's not 100% matte. It doesn't look very dewy at all, which is kind of perfect for anyone who hates dewy looking. So this is how the finish of the foundation looks like, and it is semi-matte, but when I use the Beauty Blender on this side, you can see that there's a little bit of like shine, like a little bit of dewiness on this side rather than this side. You can actually see that it's very semi-matte on this side. So I guess if you would ask me which tool I would be using whenever I apply this foundation, it really depends on the occasion or like what type of skin I have on that day. If I do have this kind of problematic skin where I have a lot of breakouts and acne, I would probably use the Skinfood Wedge Puff only because it helps me cover more those blemishes. But if I have like very perfect skin on that day, I'd probably still use the Beauty Blender because I just want to have that very natural looking foundation on my face. So yeah, it really depends on, you know, what type of skin you have on those days. Guys, I've already finished putting the concealer just to cover up some of the remaining blemishes that I can see. And so far, so good. I mean, my first impression is that it's really high coverage. It's not lying when it says that it's high coverage, and that's something that I can really vouch for. I just put a little bit of amount and kind of like scattered it all over my my face, and as soon as you put it on your face, it just looks like it's gonna cover up pretty much everything because of that high coverage. And then once you actually starts to blend out using your puff or your sponge, it does blends very easily, and not only that, it actually covered up pretty much most of all your imperfections on your face. I'm actually quite impressed with the coverage so far, and in terms of the finish, I can tell you guys that it's actually semi-matte and the feeling is really great so far. I don't feel any stickiness, or it doesn't feel heavy at all. Until now, I don't feel like I have anything on my face right now, which is pretty good. So that's something that I really am impressed about so far. In terms of the packaging, it is really great. I just love it that it's in a glass container with a plastic kind of pump, which is kind of helpful really, and it just makes the foundation looks more, I don't know, like more classy, I would say, most especially for Korean brands. Most of the time they always use plastic or those tube type for foundation, so it's actually quite nice that they use a glass container for this one. In terms of shades, they do have 5 shades. What I used, this product is actually tan, which is the darkest shade from those 5 shades that they have. So I'm typically or usually a number 23 for any cushions or any Korean brand foundation. That's just the closest one to my skin tone, which is pretty much around NC 25 for MAC. So I don't usually use MAC foundation, but I'm towards that kind of that shade. So this is tan, and it looks actually pretty good in a sense that it doesn't look too light on my face. I didn't put any blush yet and contour because I want you guys to see how it actually looks like once you put that full foundation all over your face. In terms of consistency, I would say that this has a liquidy type of consistency, but it does actually cover pretty much most of your blemishes, so it does perform like a full coverage makeup, although it's a liquidy or liquid foundation. I've had few experiences with liquid foundation where my first application is like too light, like I have to put I have to build up that foundation like 3 or 4 times to actually get that high coverage. So with this one, the first layer itself is already a high coverage, so it's pretty good for a liquid type of consistency. One thing that I noticed about this product as well is that it oxidizes a bit. The first application to my face, it looks a little bit lighter. After it oxidizes a little bit, it kind of matches well with my skin tone. The reason why I said that it actually oxidizes is because I put the product at the back of my hand and then took the product and applied it my face. So I've actually removed the product, but now I can see that a portion of that part where I place my foundation turned a little bit orangey in a way, but on my face right now it seems like it's blending out very well. A while ago it looks too white, but now it's oxidizing in a sense that it's actually blending very well with my skin tone. So that's a good and a bad thing, I guess, for some people, but for me I think it's a good thing because it blended very well with my skin after it oxidized. So that's another good thing. So what are my final thoughts about this product? Well, you got it right. I actually love this product and I do advise that you guys should try it out. I can now totally agree with all the people raving about this foundation because it is really a great product. As soon as I put it on top of my problematic skin, I was really sold. Like, it did cover it up pretty quickly. As soon as I just blended it with my puff in like a few seconds, it just covered it pretty nice, and it's semi-matte finish. Just looks great on your skin, I would say. And first, it's lightweight, it's not oily, it blends very well, it's high coverage. You can even skip your concealer because it actually covers up pretty much everything. It even says that it's a 24-hour lasting foundation. So it's a really great product, guys. I can't really describe even further, but I would say that this is my new favorite right now. So yeah, I hope that this video is very helpful to you guys, and I hope that I was able to give you all the things that you need to know if you guys want to purchase this product. If you like this video, please don't forget to hit like and hit subscribe, and please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is down below, and if you guys have any questions or comments, or if you guys want to share your different thoughts about this product or your different experience about this product, just leave me a comment below, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!